all the unique characters.
I do let him bang. Yeah, I'm a legend, man. I'm building my legacy.
All the stories and perspectives featured weekly.
I wasn't fully committed to that choke, and I kind of sunk into it, started squeezing tighter, and I kind of heard him gurgle a little bit. I was like, oh.
And all the combat sports you could ask for in the best state in the U.S.
Like I said, Ohio versus the world. It's going to happen for sure. Watch out.
It'll be cool, man. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to show them why the Ohio MMA scene is, in my opinion, one of the best MMA scenes in the country.
This is Forged in OH.
IO.
OH.
IO.
OH.
IO.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 107 of Forged in Ohio. My name is Jake Murren, and I'm the host of the podcast. I hope you all enjoyed episode 105 with Cody Wilson ahead of his title fight at Cage Thunder 29. As today, I'm joined by another fighter competing on that card at the Canton Civic Center. This man last joined the show on episode 39 of Forged in Ohio when this podcast was audio only. He's gone 1-1 in amateur fights to improve his record to 6-1 since I had him on the show last. But all that goes away on the 21st as he makes his long-awaited pro MMA debut. Representing Apex Fight Systems, it's Branson, the One Price. Thanks for coming back on the show, Branson, and welcome back to Forged in Ohio.
It feels good to be back, man. Welcome back.
Yeah, it feels good to get you back on here, and we have a lot to get to, so let's pick up from the last time you were on the show. It was ahead of your fight against Luke McMurtry, where you were trying to get champ status, win another amateur title in the second weight class. To this day, that remains the only loss on your amateur record. What did you learn most from that fight back at Cage Thunder 22?
It showed me and myself that I can get better. There are stuff. It's always something to get better at. I don't take this loss as like a actual loss. I just take it as a lesson. There's always things to improve on, so I didn't really take it really with a grain of salt. Very close fight. Big shots out to Luke McMurtry, but a very close fight. Could have went either way. But you lose some, you win some. But as long as you improve, I'm okay with that, man.
Yeah, I like that approach to it because all fighters are different when it comes to how they deal with a loss, especially as an amateur. Some people let it get to them a little too much. So I like how you reacted to that fight with Luke, and it sounds like it just motivated and fueled you to get that much better.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Nobody wants to take a loss, so I just tried to take the best out of it, and it did make me into a better fighter because I was right back in the gym, learning new techniques, getting in even better shape. So I'm not too mad at that loss. Me and Luke talk about the fight all the time. I'm pretty sure I was one of the best opponents Luke has fought too. So I mean, we both learned something about ourselves that night. I'm just ready to get back in there again and show some more of what I learned.
Something we talked about the last time you joined Forged in Ohio was your activity. You fought 5 times in 2022, then you were limited to fighting twice in 2023 after the loss in August. Why was there about that year-long layoff between the loss to Luke and the last time we saw you in there, which was last July?
Well, part of it was just finding me a fight. Nobody wanting to step up to the plate, so we're good for one date, then we get close to that date, and then the guy pulls out, so we have to move to another date. The second part of that was I think I got a hamstring injury getting ready for my first pro debut versus David Music. Just a pretty tough training camp, and one of those things that you can't really plan for. It just happened. So yeah. And so between me trying to turn pro, and in the midst of that, we just took another amateur fight, and that's when I got gold in Kentucky in another weight class. So that was just a learning experience too. So it was a while, but we're here now, and I'm ready to show what I can do at the pro level.
Was that perhaps a difficult stretch for you, especially mentally? I know a lot of fighters are at their best when they do have something on the books. They are staying active and they struggle when that's not the case. Did you go through that, or were you okay through that year layoff or so?
Man, listen, it could have for real felt both ways. Everybody wants to fight, so I mean, you know, I felt that way for about maybe like a week, really, and then after that, I just was like, I can just keep getting better. These guys keep declining fights, keep holding me off. There's nothing that's happening but me getting better, not taking any damage. I'm not one of those guys who, like, if I don't have a fight, I'm not going to be in the gym. I'm not one of those guys. I'm a gym rat. So I was only feeling like I was only getting better. So I was okay with that. I was okay with that. I really was.
The fight in July was for the Nightmare Promotions Featherweight Championship against Matt Moore in Kentucky. Was that the perfect way to end your amateur career with another title win?
Yeah, of course. That was one of my goals for a long time, to be a champ in two different weight classes. So yes, that was the perfect way to end my career. I knew that I had kind of a sour taste in my mouth with that loss to Luke, um, because nobody wants to turn pro off of a loss. So I knew I had to rectify that. So that was a perfect chance. I went against a very game opponent, and Matt Moore showed me, where I needed to improve at, and things like that. So, um, yeah. I'd say that was the perfect way to end my career, on top with another belt and another weight class. Yeah.
What are you most proud of when you reflect on your amateur career where you went 6-1 with 2 amateur titles?
Um, what I was proud of, it didn't have anything to do with MMA, man. It was just showing those around me that if you put your mind to something, you can do it. I didn't know that I was going to be this good in MMA. I'm just being real with you. I didn't know that. I just knew that if I came every day, improved every day, that there was a chance that I could do something in the sport. So that was my main thing. Just even I don't know if you remember us talking back then. My whole point in doing MMA was because my friend wanted me to do that before he passed away. So this is everything for me is really just a plus, and showing people that their dreams can come true too. That's the best thing about this whole championship thing, the 6-1 thing. If I didn't have the championship, belts, if I didn't have as good of a record as I did had, it still would have meant the same thing to me, man. Doing something that's most people, wouldn't even dare think about doing. I didn't have any training in this sport before this, but for me, doing this from like a year's training, I'd say it's a lot. So showing people what they can do if they put their mind to it, man. That's the best thing I can say out of this whole
Yeah, I
ordeal.
love that. And in 2022, when you made your debut in MMA, would you have ever envisioned that a 6-1 amateur career would be in store for you with 2 title wins along the way?
Um, no, I say not until about I'm second. I'm in my second fight, and I'm like, dude, I kind of got a grasp of this whole thing. My first time in the MMA octagon. I can't remember his name. Um, Malcolm Jackson. He was a real good opponent. I'm shaking. Anybody would their first MMA match. They don't know what to think. Am I going to get knocked out, or am I going to get through this? But as time, went on in the sport, I knew that I was sort of different. I knew that I had this drive, and I'd say that I love it. It showed me that you know you can be all you can be in this sport. So I think I've proven enough, and I think that I've shown where I would be.
Yeah, you fought some great competition as an amateur and you're put in high level moments throughout it. Do you feel like
Yeah.
all that experience you gained has prepared you well for the pro career that starts on December 21st?
Yes, I think so. I've seen kickboxers, wrestlers, jiu-jitsu guys, and I've seen pretty much a lot of stuff out there that there is, to see, different styles, different techniques, tall people, short people. We went to Kentucky. I don't think there was elbows, but there was head kicks down there. So I feel like I'm at the top of my game. um, I feel ready, man. I feel ready.
Overall, how much does being able to call yourself now a professional athlete when you walk into the cage on December 21st, how much does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me. Always as a kid, I always wanted to be pro in something. Too short for basketball, too little for football. It's just not good enough in the other sports to be pro. And this is one of my, lifelong things on my bucket list to be a pro athlete. So I have to say, uh, it's one of my goals, and I'm so happy to be doing this thing December 21st.
Talking with Branson the One Price here on Forged in Ohio. So let's talk about the pro debut that goes down at Cage Thunder 29 against Darian Paget out of Indiana. Just how excited are you to step into the cage and make that long-awaited pro debut that's been on your mind for quite some time?
I'm very excited. I know I'm going against a game opponent, pretty good in wrestling. His striking's pretty decent. I'm ready to test the young stud and see what we can do. And both of our, very anticipated matchups. He's 1-0, so he's already been in there. But I just feel like he hasn't, ran across anything like me in his career, respectfully. I'm a different breed, and I'm ready to work, and I'm ready to, get in here and show the world what I can do at the pro level. So I'm ready.
Yeah, it sounds like you have done what you've watched the tape. You know a lot about your opponent, Darian.
Yeah.
Are you the type of fighter that does a lot of that? That you like to watch as much film as possible on their opponents, or do you mostly focus on yourself? Maybe a mix of the two that gets you as prepared as possible for these fights.
Yeah. I'd say it'd be a mix of two. Your teacher always used to tell you do your homework. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't watch film, because I do. I watch it and I study it like a hawk. I pick up on tendencies. I see things that fighters may not even see that they do. So I think, that's a smart thing to do. I do that, and I put just as much effort in myself. Train hard in the gym. Living life like a professional athlete, eating right, taking care of your body. These things help when you're at the level that I am. And I do these things. I do them often. Yeah.
Since you've done your homework, what do you think that Darian does well that you might have to be aware of come Cage Thunder 29?
I think he's well in a lot of aspects of his game. His striking, his kicking, his wrestling. But I think I'm just as good, if not better. This is an opportunity to show, a stud going against another stud. So I think he's going to bring the best out of me, but I think also that I'm going to bring the best out of him too. Wrestling against a good wrestler that's going to stalemate each other out. So we'll see where the striking goes, or, it might be a wrestling match. Wherever the fight takes us, I'm pretty sure we're both going to be ready to perform and put on a great show December 21st. I'm ready, and I'm pretty sure he is too. So we're going to see.
Is that the best place to be in when you have an opponent across from you that you do have respect for and you recognize all their skills, and obviously you know how good you are, rather than fighting someone who you think might not be to your caliber? You're actually fighting someone that gets you motivated, that gets you ready, and maybe makes you push even harder leading up to it.
Yes, that's what you want, man. You don't want to cherry pick your opponents. You want to fight the best, and the best fight the best. I mean, and obviously you're going to get matchups where you're better than your opponent in certain things, and you're just better than him. But your job is to perform to the best of your capabilities, be in the gym, and take the best fights. So when you do get in that big moment, you're prepared. I've always been about that. I'll fight anybody. It does not matter your prestige, your record, all-American wrestler, kickboxer. I don't care about none of that. It's the best fighting the best. Like I said, a loss doesn't define who you are. All the greats have losses. Even John Jones has a loss. But that doesn't define who you are. I'm eager to test myself. Who wouldn't be? What real fighter wouldn't be? Eager to test his limits. That's what this is about. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that gets me hyped up for this fight, man. This is Cage Thunder's second show at the Canton Civic Center. How much are you looking forward to that aspect, kicking off the pro side of the card in a venue like that?
Man, I'm eager to get there. I was at the first show, so I seen the atmosphere and I seen how it was. And, I knew I wanted to be at the second one. Just fighting in a place like the Canton Civic Theater, it's a nice venue. It gives you that big stadium feel, and I know this is going to be a pretty big show too, ticket sale wise and things of that nature. So, this will be like, one of the best venues I've been at. And I'm eager to, debut on it.
Now that you're a pro fighter, you'll of course weigh in the day before your fight. Does that help with not only the weight cut itself, but I'd have to imagine all the things that take place between stepping on the scale and then stepping into the cage?
Yeah, I feel like that'd be, a big difference. Getting weight back on, getting the body back right with that day in between the fights. I did get to test that out in Kentucky because they have next day weigh-ins and stuff like that, and I felt great. So I'm eager to see at the pro level how much bigger difference should it be. We're weighing in at 135, but both of us are going back in there at maybe 145, 150. But I'm eager to see how that feels. I think it'll be good though. I think so.
Other changes now that you're a pro is that you'll have more weapons at your disposal, head kicks and elbows especially. Yeah. How much are you looking forward to using those in the fight?
I'm looking very forward to using those in the fight. I've been practicing those since amateur anyway. I just haven't been able to throw them. I've been in situations and dang near every one of my amateur fights to do something that I practice. So now I'm ready to let loose, with these new weapons of mine, and I I think I'm gonna do well because let's just say, with more weapons, you can do more damage, baby.
I love it, man. Having fought twice in about a year and a half, can we expect to see some new aspects of your game? Perhaps a whole new version of Branson the One Price on December 21st?
I think so, in every one of my fights, I get better. I'm eager to try new things. I'm more comfortable with my fighting skill to showcase new skills. It's like, you just keep evolving. You evolve every time you go in there. And this isn't going to be any different. You'll still see the same hardworking fighter that you're always accustomed to seeing. But yeah, I'm going to have more weapons, more things at my disposal. So I'm eager to see what I'm going to pull out my hat December 21st, Of course, I got a game plan. And we're going to stick to the game plan. I can't tell you that game plan, but we're going to stick to the game plan, and I'm eager to see it. But, every fight takes you there. You're going to have, adversity, and you're going to go through things in the fight. And that's just when you dig deep and pull it out. So, yeah. I'm eager to see.
Yeah, I am too, my friend. We talked about this last time, I believe, and I don't want to look too far past your fight against Darian, but do you feel any pressure to be active given that you'll be making the pro debut at around 34 years old?
Yeah. I'm looking to get active this year. I know, one thing that's undefeated in this sport, is Father Time. it's undefeated. No man can beat that. So yeah, I'm trying to be active and get a lot of fights, during this year, next year. But I'm looking to be in this sport for a while. I'm not in no rush, but I know that I am on the timetable, and I do know I have to be active though.
Two more for you, Branson. What are some of those things that you're hoping to achieve as a pro MMA fighter?
Yeah, to be champ, to be a champion at the 135-pound weight class. I'm not, of course I'm doing this to be the best that I can, but I want to be a champion at this sport. I want to be a contender, then a prospect, and then get my shot and show the world that I can be one of the best athletes. I don't think that age, really is a factor when you have as much drive as I do, but I do know that I'm on a timetable, so I got to get these things done, and I got to get them done fast.
And last one for you. I don't know if you're much of a prediction guy, but when you look ahead to December 21st and you envision this fight, this pro MMA debut, what do you see? How will this one play out?
I think it's going to play out exactly how God wants it to play out. I'm never one to make predictions. I just know what I can bring to the fight, and I know that it's going to be a good show December 21st, and you're going to get your money's worth. So, I'm eager to, get to this date and show the world this new fighter that you all are going to see, and it's going to be fireworks. I can tell you that much. It's going to be fireworks.
Well, before we wrap up, if you want to shout out anything here at the back end of the show, Branson, the floor is yours.
I'd like to thank you for having me on this show. Big shouts out to Cage Thunder and the Jarvises for putting on this show, at the Canton Civic Theater. Get your tickets, guys. This is going to be a great show, not only for myself, but we got tons of other great fighters on this card, and we have a championship fight on this card with Luke McMurtry as he goes against, I believe, Cody Wilson. I watched them guys' interviews as well. Man, I like both of them guys. I'm eager to see that fight. So big shout out to those guys, and I'll see you guys December 21st.
All right. Well, thanks again, Branson, for joining the show this close to your pro MMA debut. It's been about 16 months since you were last on the show, so you might not remember that I like to end these episodes with the OHIO chant. So if you could help me out here, OH.
Yeah. IO.
Appreciate the time. Best of luck on December 21st, and I can't wait to be on the call for your pro debut.
Thank you, man. I look forward to talking to you again.
That was Branson the One Price, the 6-1 amateur mixed martial artist who's looking to become a 1-0 pro fighter on December 21st at Cage Thunder 29 Hall of Fame fights. Branson has been so fun to follow over the years, dating back to his debut in 2022. He might not be known for dramatic knockouts or submissions, but when it comes to high-level local mixed martial arts, I promise that Branson Price is your guy, and I can't wait to see how he performs in his highly anticipated pro debut. Before I get out of here, I do want to update you all on the holiday schedule for the show. People watching or listening might remember that I took about a month off last year around this time for the holidays, and took that time to put even more time and effort into Forged in Ohio behind the scenes. It's kind of the off season for MMA if there ever was one. So that's the approach I'm taking again, with this being the final episode of Forged in Ohio in 2024. And what a year it's been, though, in 2024, with reaching milestones like 100 episodes and some pretty significant milestones reached on social media as well. Forged in Ohio will return Monday, January 20th, 2025. Mark it on your calendars, as that's when the weekly content will start back up for the podcast. Until then, I hope you all enjoy the holidays with your friends and family. I've been your host, Jake Murren, and I'll talk to you all again in 2025.